I had a client in Orange County someplace. I can't remember the exact address now. But she had a company, or she and her husband had a company, and the purpose of the company was to develop educational programs for schools. And when they started off, they were doing okay. And then somehow something happened, and their business went, whoa, started to go down. So she emailed me and called me. Again, they're calling me only because I get to erase this stuff. So as I began to do this cleaning, the inspiration came up, and I heard this little voice say, wrong name. The company had a wrong name. And so I waited, and so as we were talking, I was doing the cleaning, just listening. And then she asked, is there something we could do? And so I said to her what I heard. Sometimes it could be correct, sometimes not, but the best you can do, you say, I heard, and you're still cleaning. And so I heard that, I said to her that the name of your company is either incorrect or has to be changed. And so she said, okay, I'm willing to do that. And so I have to say this, I do it for a fee, huh? So we went over that, and maybe a couple of days later, as I worked on it, I heard the name for it. So I gave it to her, came up, there was a logo to go with it. And maybe within a year's time, the business just took off. Now they have warehouses to hold all this stuff. And they haven't done anything different. They didn't go leadership training, they didn't do any of that. And this business took off. And so the power of your being willing to clean, and so that you allow the divine in you to move you instead of yourself is incredible. So I'm just saying to you, names are very important. This is like when I'm talking to her, I got to remember what her last name sounds like. Okay, if I say it incorrectly, it creates problems for all of us. That's how important, the sound is so important. If you pronounce somebody's name incorrectly, you can cause them to be sick. You can kill plants. When I worked at Hawaii State Hospital, no plant would grow in the building. No plant. The paints were peeling, toilets would flush with nobody on them. You know, I mean, toilets know how to flush, but that sort of stuff. So as we began to work on it, paint stayed up. Finally, without telling people would bring plants, the plants would grow. So it's very important to always be constantly cleaning. So now that you've had something to eat, you might have generated or burped up a question. So, anybody? I'm willing to handle a burp from the back of the room. Yes. You got to talk loud so everybody can hear you.
Okay. Do we actually create? You know, we create. Do we actually create more memories? I mean, there's only so many memories, correct?
I don't know. You got to keep talking so I can.
Okay. So I guess I'm asking is, say for example, somebody ticks me off. Well, I had that memory anyways because I'm angry, but I don't clean. Do I create more memories? You create.
Now what happens is I'm just going to stay with the memory in which you get ticked off.
Okay.
So that memory sinks back. Maybe it'll never come up again. You would have lost it. If you had cleaned it, maybe it would have, the branching off it would have come okay, and then new business showed up. But because you didn't clean that particular irk, because it wasn't very significant, because you were driving, had nothing to do with your business, but had you cleaned that, it would have come back with your business.
So a lot of times we get one chance at this.
Well, we get one chance in which something bubbles up, and if you don't get it, it falls back up again. It may never come up again. It may never come up again. You got to remember, these things are swirling, they're moving, and so you're just seeing different faces, and then sometimes this part of it will drop, and you'll never see it again. You're stuck with it. Stuck. Yes.
A lot of discussion of the memories and cleaning is when something with a negative connotation arises.
Yeah.
What about when it's a positive thing?
How do you know that?
How do I know it's positive?
Yeah. You'd have to be God to know that.
So if someone says, I'm really excited, I'm I got a new job, or I have a baby coming. That's when we listen, we should be cleaning also.
Oh yeah. It's like the kidneys. You have a kidney, it doesn't decide what's good or bad. It comes through and then it automatically does, but if it doesn't come through because you say it's good, then you stop the process. Again, coming back to our friend, we look at him playing, he looked terrible, right? So we think it's wrong, we should correct him. Wouldn't that people say that? I'm asking you.
Yeah, most people would say.
Yeah, but why would you want to change something that's not broken? He just happens to be his unique way of playing. So I don't know what's right or wrong. I'm not going to decide. I just want to keep the cleaning going, keep the cleaning going. So I don't have to decide what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad. I'm not into that. So what happened to him?
Well, he kind of went for a little dip. Now he's on the rise again.
Yeah, oh, he's on the rise again. He has problems. Yeah, because once you change something, you have doubts now. Because it doesn't work. Isn't that so with the golfing? You just have one doubt. I don't care what system you have, the whole thing goes off. So instead of dealing with that, why not just keep cleaning so you get tune and it takes care of its own. You don't have to fuss with it. See, when you decide what is good, who decides what's good? Now, I'm going to take this slowly because it may sound goofy. Who decides whether something's right or wrong, or good or bad?
Society.
So you want to hear the truth?
Well, it should be yourself.
No, I'm going to tell you the truth. You have to know that if your mind is empty, it makes no decisions. It doesn't decide anything. It's perfect. But as soon as something happens, you experience something. The only question, what is causing that experience? So you got to know the mind doesn't decide anything. It's either memory playing or inspiration. So here's the mind. Now the mind ends up with an orange. This is still the mind, but it's what's in the mind that decides for you, not the mind. The mind will follow what it holds, and if it's holding whatever, it'll dance with that. But as soon as you do your cleaning, you set it free, it's back to nothing. So I want to know who decides. It's not the mind that decides anything, it's what it's holding that decides. So I'm never sure whether, even if I'm exhilarated, whether that's good or bad. So I don't even try decide. I don't want that to tell me what it is. I want to be this way. Because once I'm this way, free, then the inspiration will come in, clarity will come in, and I will dance with clarity. I want to dance with clarity. I don't want to dance, so I don't have to fuss with, is it clarity or not clarity? I don't do those things. I just keep cleaning and let it take care of itself. Because I don't know when I'm whatever way, if I'm happy doing this. I'm going to give you a prime example. In California, we have the richest people in the world, but we have the most suicides, particularly people who are very wealthy. You would think, well, they got a lot of money, they ought to be happy, but it's just bullshit stuff, because they never have enough. Did you know that? When you put money first, you never have enough.
What if you don't have any money?
Same thing. It's the same thing. It's still a memory. You have memory of having, like I never have enough, or you can have memory is I don't know. But where you want to be is you want to be here, and you don't even give it any thought. It just happens. You don't go, is that good or bad?
So with this, it's not, happiness is good, right? So is this?
No, I'm not saying that. No. When you listen, you golf people. When a guy is playing, when the guy is really in the floor, he doesn't know it. It just happens. Yeah. But as soon as he says, now let me see why I'm that way, he's gone. Because now he's analyzing, he's stuck. That's what I'm trying to get you. When you're really in the flow, you won't even know it. When you go, am I in the flow? You're stuck. You're stuck. It's like I was telling my friend here, some cases go very well and he can't explain it. Good for him. He can't explain it. Because he says, well, that happens because I did this, I'll do it again. It'll never work. Because every moment is different. It's different. You can't capture it and say, once I got the right model, I'm going to replay it. You can't do it. It won't work. Look at all your famous business guys who found out that they're all falling by greed. You know, the people who we have great respect for, Ford Company, greed. Well, we could say that they were inspired, they write books. Oh, it's bullshit stuff. Because here's what people say, that works because of this, as opposed to some famous guy 2,000 years said, it works because the God in me works. Big difference, you know. So you guys are royal people. I mean, it can get you to get through this stuff that you don't have to know anything, do anything. Just keep the cleaning going, you'll be okay. If you try to sit and analyze, you're not going to do it. Have you tried to analyze this thing? What works and what doesn't work and all that stuff? Yes. Talk to us. He started his business 5 years ago. He was making about $3 million and pain in the butt. Now he's making $6 billion. Flows more better. He doesn't market. By a regular American standard, he's a damn fool. He ought to market. He doesn't do it. Because once he gets in the rhythm, his company goes in the rhythm and it'll track whatever. Again, you weren't here. I'm going to give you this example. One more time. So what you hear is, again, coming back, the people who've heard this before can sleep, okay? But now let that represent cholesterol. In America, they say it's a big problem. And so they tell you certain things you got to do. But in the old days, what happened was that if you stayed out in the sun, that cholesterol will turn into vitamin D automatically. Did you know that? I'm telling you that. Automatically took something that's supposedly bad, shifted to something wonderful. Okay, now that's not the story. The story just goes on and on. That's the beauty of it, the miracle of it. So now this thing called vitamin D knows exactly what to do. You don't have to tell it what to do. So what it does is that it automatically looks for a button on the membrane of the cell. Millions of cells, trillions of cells. So it knows what to do. It says, that's my job, hit the button. So now the button hits and the cell wall opens. And so now the vitamin goes in, and as it goes in, automatically attaches to that enzymes, proteins, they know what to do already. They automatically do whatever it is. And what I'm trying to get you to know is as long as you're at zero, pure, everything just works. It just works. You don't have to figure it out. Just like my friend, like he said, when he engages, oh, hell breaks loose. Everything just bumps. But he can be making 12, 15 million. Even during the wintertime. He thinks it's wintertime and they don't have jobs. Don't you think that? Wintertime don't have jobs. This winter. Yeah. I don't think that's so. Now, if he's willing to work on that, other option. Now, let me ask you, I'm just curious now. Have you ever thought of other things to do during the wintertime? And then? Can you hear that? He has this sense that he knows that there's another way to do work during the wintertime, but he hasn't done anything with it yet.
That means he hasn't cleaned.
That means he's where he's at, that you and I should be cleaning.
Our reaction to that.
That's right. If you were a school teacher and he came in and he's a pain in the butt, like the kind of people that works with, if you were doing your cleaning, he would be an angel. Because as long as you go back to zero, you become vitamin D, he goes back into his own action.
So if you were cleaning properly or enough, then we wouldn't be here.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's your fault.
Yeah. Yeah. You're coming, like I've said to him, you're coming so I can see what I need to clean. Now I'm hoping that in my willingness to do that, you should do that. That means then whatever comes off of you will come off of me, because we share the same problem. If he's willing to say, oh, I can become more peaceful, let it flow like him, now he begins to clean. So as we all begin to clean, this thing goes faster, fast. Amen. But getting you guys to try to clean instead of thinking is a full-time job, you know? What do you think? I'm cross. I'm going, oh, okay, wow. Yeah. But I'm willing to do it. But you see, I've been cleaning months before you showed up. You gotta clean before you're looking for prevention. So I'm always cleaning. But it's hard to do. Okay, anybody else? Yes.
So in terms of happiness, experiencing a lot of happiness, is this true that it's really the same emotion as, or the same as sadness or any other emotion?
Yes.
Such that we're cleaning not to be happy as much as to clean to be ourself.
Yes.
And okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Did you hear that? You're not cleaning to be happy. You're not cleaning to make money. You're not cleaning because you'll find somebody who's really good. You have good sex life. You're not cleaning for all that. You're cleaning to be yourself, empty. And once that happens, boy, I tell you, the good times flow. You get all of it and more. Like that. So we're not cleaning to get this inspiration. We're cleaning because when we're over here, we don't have any problem. That's the first thing, no problem. Now Divinity says, okay, now that you have no problem, I can give you what you need for your own development. Now you can move ahead, develop, you get more aware, you become more inspired, and you go like that, and then another constipation come up, you go, and you're stuck. And you think, oh, I'm happy. So one day, this guy said to me, oh, I'm really feeling down. I heard the video, he said, he looks good to me. What is that telling us? We think we know what's happening, but we have no idea. And then you hear people say, oh, I just feel, happy. The video said, don't look happy to me. Really, that's how you become more aware, and I tell you. So you'll never want to take what people tell you. As a good lawyer will know that. When they tell you something, please know, excuse my language, it's bullshit. It's kind of dancing, They're looking for the right position. But if he's cleaning, everybody will say whatever, and the cases go faster, more cases will come in. Like my friend used to work, 5 days a week. First of all, word was she was going to get anybody if she did this cleaning. God, if I clean, nobody will show up. And then now as you begin to clean, people show up. Now you get more and more people. And then at some point, he is working, 3 or 4 days a week instead of 5. Makes more money, more happy. Well, because God is working. But when she's herself, the divinity will do for her. And that's what I'm here to show you. But it's tough, boy. Tough. Anybody else? Because you don't want to go in. We don't want to go through any more of this cleaning tools, do we? Anybody else? Please. I can hear questions. I'm just going. We want to make sure you don't leave unfulfilled. What? Oh, yes.
I do. So I'm so thankful.
Yeah, she's the sweet lady. What they're talking about, the Hawaiians are up to certain things, which is fine. But we want to make sure that if we're going to participate in any way, that we do it by our cleaning, and so whatever takes place is less struggle, less stuff. Everybody gets what's perfect and right for them, as opposed to it's a Hawaiian versus those guys from the mainland. As opposed to no, we're family. And if we fall in love with each other, our resources increase double-fold, as opposed to we're always pissed off at each other. And all the resources available just collapse. You can't use them because nobody will play the game. And you know, our friend over there with the golf, some people don't want to learn how to play golf. Don't you get that? They show up because they have to do it as part of their business, and you're trying to get them to do something they don't want to do. Have you had that experience?
Occasionally, yeah.
Yeah. And so there's a story that goes like that. When you approach somebody who you experience, you're intruding on their life by teaching them something you don't want to do, you dust your feet off and you walk away. I mean, you're done. You let that person do, but to force something on people. Yeah. Then you make us psychologists rich. Then they come sick, and we charge them $150 or whatever. You don't see us driving around a Mercedes in California. Psychoanalysts make big money in California.
I hope I don't take us away from this, but what I want to ask you is something that last night you touched on it, and right now the importance of names.
Yeah.
But also this land place, the people coming.
Yeah.
It strikes me in some arenas as an abused woman that attracts the wrong kind of
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering about.
So for me, what I wouldn't, for me, how I would approach it is I wouldn't even fuss around trying to figure that out. What I would do is immediately I would go to the cleaning. Because as I was sharing the other day, this person got married 5 times, living in different parts of the world, thinking somehow if I go to Spain, I'll find the right person. And then she said, well, they look the same like the guy I met in New York. And then he went, because this memory stuff hits you, and it'll play the same. Play that song for us over there. And my sister will do an a cappella with it, and something like that. Turn it a little louder. No. You can play that in Hawaii, but if you take the tape to Massachusetts, will you hear the same thing you put it on the CD? The same music? Yeah. So what happens is that wherever you go, you take your tapes with you. And you play the same song, and the same people will hear it, and they'll be attracted to the same stuff. So it's not where you go, it's who you are. That's what you want to work on, okay? See, like my friend here, he has the kind of stuff he's working through, because the children that he works through are part of that memory webbing. And so if he's willing to work on that, then, like he said, the children settle down and like that. But wherever you go, you take your stuff with you. Whether it's Texas, whether it's Saugus, wherever you go, so go your tapes and your scripts. Do you find yourself having particular kind of cases, you just notice how somehow there's certain kind of particular cases you guys end up with? Is there a pattern of the kind of people that come and ask for help?
Yeah, I do. I mean,
like what, for example?
Well, it's usually people that I know somehow.
Yeah, yeah. But is there any particular kind of, when they come to you, do they come to you with a particular kind of legal question, a legal problem? You find that like the same, so you never have to deal with the kind of clients that might be in bankruptcy or more so? Do you have patterns of people?
Oh, sure, yeah.
So now he's going to get the kind of whatever clients in which whatever's going on in him, it'll show up. I think it's wonderful. That means he gets to look at himself and say, oh, I can clean with that, work with that. And then what happens is he gets the kind of clients later, if he's willing, they just come through and zip right through. Oh, there went 5 million. Wow, that's another. Oh, there's another 5. Wow, and then he won't know what to do with himself. Hopefully he'll give us some of the money. You know what I'm driving at? Yeah. It can be, as my Spanish lady from Argentina said, it can be easy, you know. Yeah, it can be easy. But it also can be tough if you're not cleaning, huh? Okay, anybody else? Okay, somebody, let's see if we can be clear. And I know I'll sound like a school teacher, but I want to see. So what's the problem? Whether you believe it or not, what's the problem? Replayed memory. And when the memory replays, you see the same vision. You cannot. If I look at my friend here, if I look at her, I will not see her as who she is, because the memory's playing. I'm only going to see her like a memory, which means, guess what? I'm going to behave like I don't see her. And she'll say to me, "Are you awake? Hello?" You never hear anybody go, "Hello, are you there?" No, most people are not there. So now you clean, and then like a concert master, as soon as you clean, you go into a perfect tone. Everybody else wakes up, they move on. I saw that in people who were highly schizophrenic. Just by working myself, wow, they're gone. A couple of years later, they're gone. They never come back in the hospital. Medication levels go down. Now the only problem with that, you get into trouble with who? The pharmaceutical companies. Yeah. Now, why do we have side effects when you take medicine or product produced by pharmaceutical companies?
They're not pure. They're not.
I know, but what? So that's so. But what's the underlying thing that creates that? That when people like us take the medication, we get side effects. Why do we have side effects?
Not cleaning. It's not cleaning the problem.
Because you have to be clear that it's money-based. Anything that in which you put money first, you're going to have problems. And when you produce medicine or any product with money, a profit in mind, you're just going to have problems. So if I were our friend doing the golf, or like myself, I haven't had a job in 23 years. I haven't had a paid job. As long as I'm working myself, the income comes. This goes boom, 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 boom. I go, wow, I should be doing less, huh? Really? I mean, it's strange. If you're not used to it, it's very strange, but just working on yourself. But pharmaceutical companies are the way they are because you and I are not responsible. So now we know that because the world the way it is, we began to do our cleaning. We don't blame the pharmaceutical company because we have allowed that to occur. We don't blame the tobacco industry because we have allowed that by our not being 100%. As soon as we get, the pharmaceutical company will move and they will produce the kind of product that nobody will get sick. And they're already doing it. One little company in Japan. Yeah. So why are you producing that stuff? Oh, because we love to. What do you mean you love to? That's not a good business plan. Oh, but we just loved it. There's an old Japanese man in Japan producing, I don't know, looks like seaweed of some sort that he says is good and it doesn't create any side effects because he loves doing it. He doesn't do it for money, and he's going to make tons of money, boy, I tell you. So I was trying to get his name, the company's name, so I could buy stocks in it, you know. I could see it go ding, oh, wow, that's a stock I should be buying money for. Okay? All right, let's put something up on the board, yeah. We should be killing our time, yeah, in case you don't have any questions. All right, let's get something up there. Yeah.
How do you explain an insurance company that's supposed to pool your funds, your premiums, for risks, and then when it comes time to take care of you, when you get, you need the benefit, they don't take care of you. And
but
the
that's
bottom
what.
line is the profit.
Yeah, the bottom line is that's what they do. The idea is to take your money and not give you any of it back. But you and I know that already, don't we have that sense? So what's so different? The difference is then you and I have to be doing our cleaning so that the insurance company will be more responsible. Because there are insurance companies producing now that will do exactly like you're saying. You give them enough, you can guarantee they're going to take care of long-term care. There are insurance companies that do that. But we hold insurance companies like they're crooks, right? How many of you think insurance companies are really after your interest? See, nobody, because that's the way we hold them, and they can't change. We lock them in by how we hold them. You understand that? Yeah. Don't we do that to people? We said, oh, he's no good. And then they can't be any good. Because even if they change, you can't see them. Because you hold them in a certain way. So they give up. Just like drug addiction, they give up. At Hawaii State Hospital, if you got returned 3 times in a row, they wouldn't they wouldn't put you out again. Is that right? Hawaii State Hospital, they had a hidden policy. They couldn't do it right. They had a policy that you put somebody out 3 times, they had to come back after the 3rd time, they wouldn't even pay attention to you. Yeah. You were locked in at 50,000.
You're out in California.
In Hawaii too, you know. But because we put up these invisible barriers. That's how in some places in Texas, they don't put up fences, they just put up little ropes. The cattle come right up to that. They've been trained with what do you call behavior mount. They don't go beyond that. You know that? Cattle come right up there, they look and they walk away. And only one string. Look how cheap it is to keep in thousands of cattle. That's us. This is the stuff that keeps us boxed in. Yeah. So a dear monarch comes along and said, hello, this is in you, that's all. Free yourself, look at yourself, be free. What is she talking about? Yeah? Lance. So now my sister, she come and give me one more chance. I tell you, tough boy. 6-something years, tough, look, she's pulling. So now she has this cord. So now what you have with somebody and you don't see it, it's memory connection. So she pulls, then, well, guess what I do? I pull back, so this tug of war. Now an attorney shows up. He thinks he's going to solve it. Attorney's not going to solve anything. But if I watch now, pull. If I let go, she can't pull me anymore. And she's free too. See, now she said, hey, pull you. Damn, pull. See, us Hawaiians are so, we're always pulling. We forget, oh, wow, we're not pulling it. What happened? Pull. Yeah. Silver rod. A silver rod. Us Hawaiians could use that silver rod, you know? Okay. Can you read it back there?
Mentally place rod into top of head, then goes down spine and out between the legs and into the earth. Works on all relationships with both men and women. Erases women's hatred of men. Moment by moment, silver rod.
So this process is about women's hatred of men. So by doing this process, it's that simple. Simply take a silver rod mentally, take silver rod, just put it at the top of my head, down through my spine, down to the feet. That's it. That's all you have to do. Several times. And it's about women's hatred of men. Now that's also men's hatred of women. So it's kind of vice versa. So this is a process that I've been doing for years. Every day I do this process. Because I get a lot of calls of women being battered, so you know, it's like I'm part of the whole universe, and by doing this process, I'm working to erase, so that whatever comes of me comes of. That's the way how this thing works. Comes off the plants, come off the earth, and this is probably the most important cleaning area is the relationship that deal with how women and men treat each other. And this is why I'm choosing that. So I want to know if you have any questions. So if you have any kind of stuff with a man or a woman or anything like this is a wonderful cleaning tool. So the way it works is very simple. Again, it's you know, it sounds like funny, but it's like a game of golf. Getting yourself tuned up. So again, you start with the divinity, then you have the 3 selves, self-identity. This is identity. So memory plays. Memory is dealing with women's hatred of men. So now the conscious mind says, okay, I'm going to do the silver rod. And they begin to do the silver rod. Immediately the energy goes down into the subconscious. Energy goes up to the superconscious. Energy goes up, hits a bell, ding, ding, ding. This is the omaka. Omaka means the source, and this is where it's, and then the energy begins to flow downward. And every time you do this, it happens. So the energy flows downward. It is the energy called mana. And the purpose of mana is to take a memory and to transform it to zero. So this is what you're asking the Divinity to do. I'm sorry, please forgive me. So the energy comes on first, always first, spiritually, or through the superconscious. Then it comes down secondly to the conscious mind. And it comes down into the subconscious, the computer, and it does the scan of it. And if that memory is correct to go, the memory is erased, which means then it leaves an emptiness. And as soon as that energy comes down and puts into the subconscious whatever inspiration. But now watch now. You experienced the problem. Divinity erased it with the mana. You have no problem. So you're free. Now the next step is inspiration helps you to move on in your awareness. So you become more aware, more loving, more caring. That's the only purpose of the inspiration. Otherwise, you could have been just free and that would be it. You don't have money problems anymore. You don't have any sexual problems. You know. But the silver rod, the point of the silver rod is to work with memories that you experience as hatred. Any questions about that? Do we have any of that here in Kona? I'm not being funny, huh? Do we have any of that? Rape? Abuse?
Lots.
Oh, lots. Oh, I thought it was only in California. Jesus. Okay, big time. And you know, and so where do you see this? How do you see this manifested in the community? Drugs? School? You guys? The whole economic community, the climate. So as you work on it, you're working on all of that stuff. This is what I heard when I looked, let's go put silver rods so my friend could use it some more. Yeah. You guys could use it over in your place. Yeah. Do you think that how we treat women affect companies and the economy of our country?
Oh, big time.
Big time. So you see why women hate us?
Big time.
You know, they asked my sister to leave. No, really. Here's Pearl Harbor. She put in all this time, good service, and now they decided it's time to downgrade, do something, and so they asked her to leave. You think she's going to fall in love with that place? But that's how we treat women. When you look at all the country, you look at all our companies, and how many of them are run by women? Maybe 13%. They just got rid of the one what? Yeah. Even though the company made money. Did you know the company made money, but they got rid of her? Does that make sense?
They resent women being successful.
I'm sorry?
A lot of people resent women being successful.
Oh yeah. So we should be cleaning on that with the silver rod, huh? On that note, I'm going to take a break. Huh?